Greetings to all the young and promising learners. Welcome to the official YouTube channel of SRN International School. I am Faculty of English at SRN International School. So the students of grade 11th, we will be learning the chapter The Summer of Beautiful White Horse, written by William Saroyan. Children, this story revolves around the two poor Armenian boys, Murad and Aram, and they are the members of Geroglanian family, and the hallmark of their tribe are trust and honesty. Now let us know about the chapter. This particular chapter or the story is about two Armenian boys. One is narrator Aram, who is 9 years old, and his cousin Murad, who is 13 years old. And the boys who belonged to Geroglanian tribe had a longing to ride the horse, but couldn't afford. So to fulfill their desire, what the boys do, we will find it out through this story. So the theme of this story is inevitability of change that challenges traditions and long established beliefs. Here in the story, Murad and Aram, who questioned and thwarted their traditional virtues to embark the pleasures of the world. Now let's have the overview of the chapter. So the story begins with the arrival of Murad. The story, when the story begins, it is in a mood of nostalgia. Aram, the narrator, was then a boy of 9, and his cousin Murad, a more adventurous but slightly crazy fellow, was 13. The narrator remembers vividly the day when Murad came to his house at 4 in the morning and woke him up by tapping on the window of his room. Aram jumped out of bed, and when he looked out of the window, he couldn't believe what he saw. His cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. Now the narrator's surprise. Murad asked him to be quick if he wanted to ride. The narrator had a longing to ride, but his whole Geroglanian family was poor, though well known for their trust and honesty. So the narrator knew that his cousin Murad couldn't have bought the horse, and if he couldn't have bought it, he must have stolen it. So the narrator refused to believe he had stolen it because no member of the Geroglanian family could be a thief. Here in this story, there is one more interesting character, children, that is Uncle Khosrow. Uncle Khosrow is being shown as one of the furious, impatient and irritable personality. And he always used to say, pay no attention to it. And there's one incident when his son runs to him and informs that his house is on fire. And to him also he replies that pay no attention to it. There is no harm. So why I am mentioning about it? Because Murad, being one of the member of the Geroglanian family, has been believed that he was also among one of the crazy streaks, and he has imbibed some of the qualities of Uncle Khosrow. So later on, when this story will develop, we'll get to know about Uncle Khosrow also, and with his addition, there is some of the humorous element which is also added in the story. Now we'll get to know about the Aram's justification about stealing horse and stealing the money. So he himself justified it because he also wanted to ride the horse. So the narrator Aram asked Murad where he had stolen that horse, and Murad did not reply but asked him to leap out of window if he wanted to ride. He knew that Murad was crazy regarding horses. Stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing money or selling a stolen horse. So you all can understand, when he was convinced with this, definitely they'll go and enjoy the ride. So the narrator leaped into his clothes. He jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind his cousin Murad. From their house in Walnut Avenue They reached Olive Avenue in less than 3 minutes. The horse began to trot as the air was fresh and lovely to breathe. And as I told you that Murad was considered one of the craziest members of their family, he began to sing, or rather roar. And when they reaches to the open country, and then he lets the horse run as long as it felt like running. At last, Murad asked Aram to get down as he wanted to ride alone. Aram asked him if he would let him ride alone, and Murad replied that it was up to the horse whether he allows him to ride or not. Now let us know the comparison of Murad and Aram's ride. So when the narrator got down and his cousin Murad kicked his heel into the horse and shouted, "Wazire, run!" the horse stood on its hind legs, snorted, and ran forward at a fast speed. Murad raced the horse across a field of dry grass to an irrigation ditch. He crossed the ditch on the horse and 5 minutes later returned, and he was dripping wet. While Aram was given the chance, he couldn't do it well. When the narrator leaped to the back of the horse did not move. At the suggestion of Murad, he kicked into the muscles of the horse. It reared, snorted, and began to run. The narrator did not know what to do. Instead of running across the field to the irrigation ditch, the horse ran down the road to the vineyard of Dikran Halabian and leaped over 7 vines before Aram fell. Murad came running down the road. He was more worried about the horse than Aram. Both of them searched the horse in different directions. It took Murad half an hour to find the horse and bring him back. As everyone was awake, there was a risk of being found out, so they wondered where they could hide the horse. And finally, Murad hid the horse in a deserted vineyard belonging to farmer Fedvigen. There were some oats and dry alfalfa in the barn. It occurred to the narrator that Murad had been taking early rides for some time and had come to him that morning only. He inquired, "How long did you steal the horse?" Once again, Murad did not like the question. The narrator rephrased it, "How long did you begin riding every morning?" He replied, "Not until this morning." He was obviously not speaking the truth, but he convinced Aram by saying so. And Murad then told Aram that it wasn't easy to get the horse to behave so nicely. At first it wanted to run wild, but since he had a way with horse, he developed an understanding with the horse. The narrator reached home and ate a hearty breakfast because he actually enjoyed that morning ride very much. Now, there was the arrival of John Biro in the scene. That afternoon, when his uncle Khosrow came to their house for coffee and cigarettes, while he was sipping coffee and smoking in the parlor, another visitor arrived. The latter was a farmer whose name was John Biro. He was an Assyrian who, out of loneliness, had learned to speak Armenian. He was also served coffee and tobacco. Sighing sadly, he said that his white horse, which had been stolen last month, was still gone. Uncle Khosrow became irritated and snubbed him for crying over a horse. Farmer John Biro was a large man with a gentle heart. He had to walk 10 miles to reach there, and his left leg pained badly. The horse had cost him $60, and his surrey was no good without a horse. As Aram got to know about John Biro's problem, he actually had a clue about the horse. So as soon as the farmer went away, Aram ran over to his cousin Murad's house and told him everything. He asked Murad not to return it till he learned to ride. He suggested keeping it for a year or at least 6 months. Murad thought he was inviting a Geroglanian to steal. He decided to return the horse to its true owner. Early every morning for 2 weeks, Murad and Aram took the horse out of the barn of the deserted vineyard where they were hiding it and rode it. Every morning, the horse would leap over grapevines and small trees and throw Aram and run away. Still, Aram hoped to learn to ride as Murad rode. Now they have a meeting with John Byro. So one morning on the way to Fedvigen's deserted vineyard, they came across farmer John Byro, who was on his way to the town. Murad greeted him. The farmer studied the horse eagerly and wished them good morning. He asked the name of their horse. Murad instantly replied that they called My Heart. John Byro called it a lovely name for a lovely horse. He was certain that it was a horse which had been stolen from him many weeks ago. He asked if he might look into the horse's mouth. On examining the teeth of the horse, the farmer was ready to swear that it was his own horse. But since the fame of their family for honesty was well known, he would not call it the stolen horse. Still, it was the twin of his horse. That's what he commented at the last. You all can understand that just with that statement, their conscience was pricked. So early the next morning, the boys took the horse to John Byro's vineyard and put it in the barn. Murad put his arms around the horse, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, patted it, and they went away. That afternoon, John Byro came to their house in his surrey and showed the narrator's mother the horse that had been stolen and returned. He was surprised to find the horse stronger than ever, and in fact, he stated that it was better tempered now. He thanked God. Uncle Khosrow, who was in the parlor, became irritated again, and he shouted at him to be quiet. He observed that his horse had been returned and repeated his pet phrase, "Pay no attention to it." Now children, that's how we come to the end of the story, that finally the horse was returned back and these two boys at least fulfilled their desire of riding the horse. So what message this story leaves is that despite social or economic challenges, there are some truths which are absolute and should be practiced under all conditions. It is undeniable that the story is set within a family that is poor, and their poverty is not used as a crutch or something that limits the emotional quotient of the boys or the people of the community. I hope children, you must have understood the chapter through this summarization. If you have liked the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.